Welcome to DeFi Crypto today. Today we're talking about whales. Yes, in their natural habitat. Imagine that. So I brought my friend here, okay, the whale, and we're going to talk about whale portfolio, crypto whale portfolio. Okay, we're going to see how big whales invest their money. Isn't that exciting? So she's going to go and play in the water over there, and we're going to look at something I find very interesting. It's called Debank.com. So basically it's a DApp, and it allows you to look at your whole portfolio, but since the blockchain is public, you can see other people's portfolios as well. And I'll show you how to do that. So don't believe, some people believe that Bitcoin and a lot of tokens, you can do transactions and they're secret. It's not really secret. The blockchain is an open ledger. All your transactions are public. Everything you buy and sell, it's public. Everywhere you invest, it's public. Okay, so when you hear news about those hackers that go in government offices or big companies, like there was a gas pipeline recently that was hacked, and they asked for Bitcoin and ransom and so on. Well, as soon as they give their address, the FBI knows what's going on, and we know what they're doing with the Bitcoin. And they transferred it to another place, and at that other place, if they send it to another public address, we can find it. I mean, there would be ways to hide things, but basically, if you give a public address at some point, the FBI can figure out your IP address, figure out who your internet service provider is, and you find your address. So don't do anything bad. Okay, so how does it work? Well, let's have a quick description first. Okay, you can track your full portfolio through several blockchains like Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, XDAI, Polygon, etc. And it's got also all these dexes and aggregators where these are some of the most popular ones, and you can see all the pools where people invest their money. Okay, so let's have a look. So what we're going to do, hang on, I'm going to use another profile. I'm going to use our demo profile here, and we're going to connect, and we're going to view our profile. This profile has nothing in it. Okay, I use it for demonstration only, but it gives you an idea. So if you have, it's going to show, first of all, the coins you have, what's in your wallet on the different chains. So you got, in this case, Polygon, Ethereum, Binance, etc., etc., etc. Okay, and it's going to show them all in here. Okay, and below, if I had any investments in Aave, in Curve, or any other, or Pancake Swap, for instance, they would all show down here. Okay, so that's your that's my demo address here. So your address would pop up here, and let's have a look at other stuff first of all. So let's look at something interesting. We can explore the DeFi ecosystem, as they say. So you can see the chains. You can select a chain, let's say Ethereum. So at the bottom here, you have dApps that are on the Ethereum blockchain. Okay, all these nice things. And they put in order of user deposits. So you know that Curve has $8 billion right now deposited there. Aave version 2 has 7.5 billion, and so on and so on and so on. So that's another interesting thing. If you're looking for places where to invest, you can look up these, okay? And many of them will offer very attractive yields, okay? Also, most of those that are at the top are very, very, very well known, and they've been audited many times, and usually they have a very strong team and so on. So they're relatively safe. Nothing is 100% safe in the crypto world, but if you put your money on AVI or Curve or Compound or Uniswap, chances are your risk is lower than on some unknown guy's protocol that just came up last week. Okay. All right. So let's see what we can do here. Let's have a look at AVI. And these are the users. Okay. And these are their portfolios. And that's the net worth of their portfolios. So this is a whale. Okay. It's got $1.2 billion in its portfolio. And it's got a share of about 16% of everything that's on AVI. That's huge. That's really, really quite big. So let's see what they're doing. Okay. Wow. So we can see that the total portfolio value is $3.4 billion, and you know it's going to be updated every few seconds. And we can see that they focus mostly on Ethereum and Binance, almost the same value, 55% here, 45% there. And there's $26 million in the wallet that's just waiting. And other protocols have been used. These are the protocols where they've invested money. All right, so let's have a closer look. So that's what's inside the portfolio right now. Okay, you can see that their biggest asset is the Compound token, and then the BUSD token, and then the AVI token, and so on. Okay. All right, so this is the number of tokens, this is the price per token, this is the total value per token, and this is the total value of the portfolio. Pretty easy to understand. Then we see that they're a big fan of Ellipsis on Binance Smart Chain, and they've got $1.4 billion invested there. And these are the pools where they put their money. Okay, and these are the rewards that they're earning on that. And their APIs on this particular pool is 7.62%, and they have 1.2 billion there. So they're a really big fan of this one. Then we've got on AVI, they've got, they deposited all these funds, and they borrowed this much. So the value here is the net, okay? All this minus this equals this. Okay, so you can see here, you know, what they're doing. You can study it, figure out, okay, is that a good strategy or not? You know, you can see that this person really believes in USDC, for instance. That's, you know, a huge chunk of the portfolio. Okay. Why is that? Maybe, I don't know, maybe they think that it's a good idea to put it there, and then they borrow against it, as you can see, and maybe they use that to invest somewhere else. Okay, that's pretty much a strategy that I explain in my book. You can download the free book, don't forget. If you register, you can download your the free book. And here they stake some AVI token, they get the rewards and so on. They're at Liquidity, that's another protocol. Here they're mostly invested in ETH. And they're farming them. Farming the LUSD and so on. Earning 9.75%, it's a pretty good rate. They're also on Compound. This is what they're deposited. and they borrow this much. So they're doing pretty much the same strategy that I explained in the book and that they did up there with Aave. They deposit some coins and they borrow other coins in exchange, and probably reinvest these coins in the other coins and other protocols. Also on Nerve, I got 100 million there. And finally, they're on PancakeSwap and they're using all these pools. Okay, really good return on these. But you notice the very high, it's interesting because the way I'm looking at this looks a lot like the strategy that's explained by me. Most of their assets, okay, if you look at a very large portion of their assets here on Aave, for instance, $1.2 billion is invested in stable coins, which is what I'm talking about in the book. And they're borrowing mostly stable coins. If you look at this, all these are stable coins. Okay. The deposits, the vast majority is USDC. There's a little bit of variable, like they got some wrap Bitcoin here. But this is stable coin, this is stable coin, stable coin. Let's wrap ETH. But you notice it's a very small part of the portfolio, right? So most of it is put there safely, and they borrow also pretty safe assets, and then they invest some of it, but a rather smaller part, okay, in more risky assets. Okay, these pools are a little bit more risky, and that's why the interest rate's a lot higher. Okay, but that's only $20 million. Well, $20 million would be a lot for me, but for them it's a very small part of their portfolio. Okay, you see what I mean? All right, so let's have a look at another protocol. Let's go on BSC. Biggest one is obviously PancakeSwap with 6.5 billion. So let's have a look at Pancake. And okay, these are contracts. So contracts, my understanding is that most of them are part of the system. Okay, so they're large, but they're like they're the contracts that manage the funds on the protocol. That's my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's the way it works. So this one is an actual individual. Well, the individual could be a person, could be an institution, probably I don't know, a hedge fund or something like that. Okay, so this is what they're doing. This one is smaller than the other one, only 220 million only. And so that's what they've got on their wallet. They've got about $5 million here, and then that's what they're invested in. See, most of these are, well, except the first one, that's BNB, but these are all stable coins also. So, what do we have? Okay, this one put most of their assets in these three pools, and they're earning a decent rate. So they're not the most risky, and they're not the safest one, and they're not the riskiest assets. And so that's why they put a pretty large chunk of their portfolio in here. Okay. All right. So that gives you an idea. You can use these to study other people's strategies. Okay. Every person has their own strategy. I have mine. I explained it in the free book. It doesn't mean it's the best strategy in the world, okay? But you can see, maybe you like their strategy, maybe you don't like it, but you can study it and learn, you know, where are the best places to put your money, put your tokens, right? So, and you can explore. There's a lot of stuff to explore. You can see all these stuff, you know, there's a ton of them. Okay, now do your own research. Okay, PancakeSwap is relatively safe, but it's not necessarily as safe as Aave. Okay, some auditors like PancakeSwap and some auditors like it less. Okay, so again, diversify. Don't put all your money in just one protocol. Okay, I like the biggest whale that we saw earlier because they diversify a little bit more. They put their money in about half a dozen portfolios, protocols. I mean, so you manage your risk better like this. I mean, what if PancakeSwap or Aave or Curve or whatever gets hacked? Okay, nothing's impossible. And also be careful of smaller protocols. You know, you can see how much people have deposited here. Like if we go at the bottom of the list, these are going to be rather small protocols. If it's only $4 million on this Jewel swap or whatever it's called, your risk is pretty high. Okay. Typically, I try to stay above 100 million. Okay. Because I figure if there's over $100 million, so basically we're going to start looking at all these above here. Okay. I mean, you can use a new protocol after you've studied it, you read the white paper, they have one, make sure they have a white paper. A protocol that doesn't have a white paper, I don't even trust. Okay, so check that they have a white paper, check what they're about. Okay, check what they do, check where the earnings are coming from. Okay, is it from swapping? Is it, what is it? Okay. Because if you understand how it works, okay, and it makes sense to you, okay, you can better trust it. And make sure that they've been audited. That helps too. This way, if there's a problem, okay, you can avoid it. Okay. All right, that's it for today. Have a nice day. Bye.